Week 12 of the National Football League. And we have Alexander Johnson. He's on the verge of earning his 100th tackle of the season. It's the Bears and the Jets on EA Sports.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the New York Jets. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Jets coming into play. They've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Chicago's offense running out, and something they hope to see for years and years to come. Second-year pro Justin Fields leading the way.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. We might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
Fields going to throw right away. Eluding the pressure right. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Fields going to keep it once more. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1, they have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So this game, Charles, you know, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Straight ahead is Hall. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. That's to Davis. He's got it. Touchdown, New York. Corey Davis, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead at 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 12 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now, the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him at the end zone in this one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jets will take over. The Jets taking over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Hall again on 2nd down. They find some open field here. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this was a little ambitious and he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Play action. It's Wilson. Able to get away. This is caught inside the 15. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 39 yards there, a big one. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Throwing is Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. From the shotgun, Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to get going again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense for the Jets, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Fields. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Fields. Got an open man. It's Pringle. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good time.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. So here are the Jets now to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll give it to Hall to start the drive. And some space here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. On 1st down, right back to Hall. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wilson. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
I give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may even turn into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Zerline now for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it was finished off by the rookie Breece Hall. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Well, the final weekend of November is upon us. Boy, can you believe December right around the corner? It always seems to get here quickly. But coming up tonight, we wrap up the holiday weekend with the Packers and Eagles from Philly at 8:20 Eastern. And tomorrow night, we wrap up Cyber Monday with the Steelers and Colts from Indianapolis. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. From the gun, here's Fields. Wide open receiver, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. It's Fields. And that'll be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Fields over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. A short gain there of just 4. That'll bring up a 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And he missed it. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Four yards remain for 2nd down. Hall again on 2nd down. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now Wilson on 1st down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Roquan Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. Fields throw there, complete to Mooney. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Texans out in front as that one is just about to halftime. Davis Mills has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll keep the Florida theme going as we head north to check on the Jags at home in Jacksonville. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdowns in that game for J.K. Dobbins. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Jared Goff, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Jets, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. And the Jets head out on offense here to start this third quarter. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now it's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wilson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson. And he'll find Hall. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wilson. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
Play action. Now Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Jets take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So they called it a touchdown originally. This will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Now Zerline on and the extra point. And the lead is now 24. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Fields now to throw. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. John Franklin Myers drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, Can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return.
And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
They go play action now. Wilson sliding out of the pocket toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Paul ought to give up the middle. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alexander Johnson, the one to drop him.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
There goes a deep ball, end zone.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
The previous play is under review.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So the challenge does not sway the official's decision. Spot of the football going to remain right where it is. They'll go for it. It's Hall.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more this time, the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league They take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
This is caught. Touchdown, Jets. Braxton Berrios, 28 yards. And the Jets have opened the lead up to 30. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Zuerlein now for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk...
Fields hit and the ball is loose. And now he's got him at a great spot at the 8-yard line here, first and goal. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Braxton Berrios with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jets get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Now Zuerlein on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Pettis now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Chicago offense set to get started.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. 2
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ball at the 23, second and 8. To throw is Fields.
His throw incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's Fields.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Gets around him. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They go play action with Wilson. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10, down at the 31.
Here's a give to Hall.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
93 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Caught on the slant. Touchdown.
Garrett Wilson.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jets add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Going up top. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here's Fields. Got an open man. It's Pringle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. Over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball. And unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Fields, and he fires one that's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest, but now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly, but they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Well, once again, here comes Garrett Wilson in the Jets offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 41 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And he at the 11-yard line. Roquan Smith able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Zerline now for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Now Fields.
He's going to let it fly.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. But my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
And New York set to take the field.
And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wilson wants to throw it.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. The Charles are still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead, and some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And one last throw here for Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have